As an entrepreneur, we find our most success in hiring out and delegating the parts inside of a business that we ourselves aren't good at. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Devin Knupp here with another video providing massive value and content like always. In this video, I'm going to be talking with you guys about what exactly is an acquisition manager and what they do and how to find one. And so now, if you aren't familiar with the term acquisition manager, and obviously we're talking about real estate wholesaling, what an acquisition manager does is they go out there, they get the deals under contract, they manage leads, they follow up with the leads, and they make sure they're basically the ones bringing in the income into your business. Now, obviously, you have to bring in the leads so that way they have things to do and things to work on. But essentially, they're going to take majority of the business, so that way we can work on other things as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Well, I recommend you try to get an acquisition manager as soon as possible if you don't already have like a virtual assistant. Now, a virtual assistant, they basically scrape lists for you and manage leads and everything like that, making sure that everything that's coming into our pipeline is good and clean, and motivated sellers or people ready to sell their house, and removing a lot of the people that aren't interested in selling property for us. That's for another video. Anyways, so with an acquisition manager, their tasks, I'll just lay it out for you guys how I do it inside of my business, and then you guys can take it however you want it. Now, obviously, there's a lot of ways of setting them up and having them do things, but I'll just, like I said, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly like how I have it set up in my own company. And so, for me personally, with my acquisition managers, how I like to have it set up is very simple, but enough so that way they have things to do at all times whenever they're working. And so now, what specifically do they do inside of my business? I have them break down to like, I think 3 things. I'll list them out and then we'll count afterwards. But essentially, first of all, the first thing I have them do is do whatever follow-up sequence they're supposed to do inside of our database, inside of the investor views. And so, like, if it's just call up Bob at 123 Main Street, ask about the property, what's going on with the situation, if they still own that property, if they're looking to sell it. If they talked to them maybe a month ago, then they do it, or they go on appointments and all that type of stuff. And so whatever task is inside of there for the day, that's what they have to do. And so second of all, what I have my acquisition managers do is go out on these appointments and manage the leads and make sure everything's going good. So they're going to be handling all of that, handing over all the responsibility over to the acquisition manager with these leads and everything, so that way everything's kept appropriately, as they're the ones managing the leads and making sure everything's a-okay, signing up deals, getting things under contract. And so as far as them signing contracts and everything, a lot of this you got to talk with your attorney. It's always going to be different in every state and whatnot, so that's what I recommend. But I have them sign up the contracts, and then also I like to have them try to find the cash buyer, get the cash buyers in there, walk through with them, and follow the deal up through closing and bringing in the profits into the business. The third thing that I have them do is I have them prospect leads and try to bring more leads into our pipeline, into our database and whatnot. And so how I usually have them do this is I usually set like a minimum requirement on how many cold calls they have to make throughout the week with our skip tracing and everything. So that way they're always staying on top, consistently bringing leads into the database. Also, like another thing that I have them do, it's kind of just part of the job description. I wouldn't necessarily, it's something out of like an additional step that they have to do necessarily, but it's also like trying to figure out the values of the property. I'm trying to figure out what would be a good deal, what the MAO is, educating them on that, and then so that way they know how to do it themselves, and so that way they can go out there and sign up these deals and figure out if it's a good deal or not as they're learning from the market, and they're really just becoming experts inside of the field. And so now, obviously, as an acquisition manager, you have them set up, paid as an independent contractor. You're paying them off of commission. I usually like to pay them between 12 and 20%. Now, it just depends on the margins and what you have to work with. I usually, like with newer acquisition managers, I usually have them down to the 12%. And then as I start doing more and more deals, I would say about 5, and then I bring it up to 20. Also, another thing to think about is when they're working, what I usually have them do as well when I'm teaching them and having them learn is I pay them half their commission when I'm going out on appointments with them, training them and everything. And So that way they can still bring in an income with them working with you, but at the same time they're learning with firsthand experience. And so when you hire an acquisition manager, your income will start to slightly dip a little bit, but they're going to get really good at what they do, and it'll exponentially grow after that as you start hiring more and more and removing your time out of the piece, as they're going to become experts in that field of acquiring properties, so that way you guys can wholesale them and putting them through the pipeline and all that stuff. And so that way us as business owners can really scale the business or work on bigger and greater things. Now, how do you find these acquisition managers? First of all, I recommend people that are extremely motivated to start bringing in income, as it does take like a special character type. That I recommend people that have had sales experience and working with people, and really good at building rapport, as that's the most important part about this business. And so if they're really good at building rapport, having conversations with people, maybe have a little bit of charm, then that's where you start to see these people really excel and get these properties at a deeper discount. Because with the motivated sellers, the more rapport that we've built with them, the easier it is to get the property at a discount. And so now, how do you find these acquisition managers? One of the biggest ones, the platforms that I've seen, is Upwork, and you can just post, hey, I'm looking for an acquisition manager, and then maybe lay out the job description inside of there, and just I would try to get a few candidates inside of there, try to figure out which one works best for you. I usually recommend that they have like a college degree or like post high school education, just because it seems like those are the ones that stick around a little bit better and do a lot better inside of this business. So another way to find acquisition managers is to just talk around, talk with everybody that you meet, and just try to find those people that are that are motivated to make some money, as there's a lot of money you can make as an acquisition manager. Like I said, if you're getting paid 20% and they're doing themselves like $250,000 worth of moving properties and assignment fees, then that is essentially $50,000 that they're making inside of the year, and that's pretty good income for a sales job. And obviously they can make more and more as time goes, especially if they're doing like $500,000, and that's like a 6-figure income right there that they're making. And so it's all just really breaks down to trying to find the people that are motivated, have some hustle. Now, you don't really want to hire the people that are the entrepreneurial type, just because they'll take the idea and they'll try to go with it themselves and they won't stick around that much longer. So you want to just really try to find the people that are going to be in it for the long run and really just relate to you guys' own business morals and ethics and everything like that, and your guys' guidelines. As you want people that are fitting for your personality type and kind of what you're really trying to do this business for. So that way they're going to be really effective and they're not going to go out of bounds too much, because you don't want people doing stuff behind your back. You don't want people lying to you or anything like that. And so you really want to make sure that you're finding the right people for your business. And so I've probably made a couple of mistakes. I mean, I really don't. There's a lot more that I can learn when it comes to the hiring process. I've had people work for me in and out, and I really gotta nail it down just a little bit more. But essentially, hiring an acquisition manager is going to be very beneficial for your business, as they're going to be experts inside of the field when it comes to signing up these deals and everything, and they're going to be bringing in the leads for you and keeping everything going smoothly. And so I highly recommend it, and especially if you're trying to get to that point where you're doing the 4-hour work week, if you've heard of that by Tim Ferriss. Once you start automating a lot of these things, then you can really start scaling it and just blowing up your business, hiring in more and more people, and rather than micromanaging a lot of them, just make sure the top layer that you're just managing everything and not having to put that much time into it, because that's essentially what we want to get down to. So that way we can break into other ventures and start blowing up our income personally, and just really become like a beast inside of the wholesaling gang, as well as just entrepreneurship as a whole, and really do the things that you want and have the freedom to go travel around the world, whether it be go to Fiji or Thailand or Paris for a month or whatever. And so really just breaking it down so that way all you have to do is just work off of your phone and your computer and not have to physically be there. Then that's obviously the place that you want to be at, and that's what hiring people in, acquisition managers especially, is really going to help you get to inside of your career, inside of your business. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you haven't already, join the fam, join the gang by hitting that nice looking subscribe button down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please drop a like. And also, man, I have been so off these last couple days. I've been just really trying to research, and it's very easy to get information overload. So I've been really just stuck a little bit. And so one of the beneficial things though is that I've hired people to help me out. And so whenever I get stuck, I can refer to people, or I have a lot of connections that have had a lot of experience, and I can just refer to them, hey, what should I do? Am I doing the right things? I need some guidance, and they help me out. And so that's one of the best things about building relationships and hiring people that are way above you to help you out. And so, I mean, yeah, I've still been stuck a lot, but it's a lot better, and this really applies to any business. But I just figured I'd let you guys in on kind of the information, what's going on in my life and whatnot. But I'm in the same boat as you guys. I'm trying some new ventures and everything, and so I understand what it's like when you're getting into a new business, trying to get into real estate wholesaling and everything. And so if you guys ever need help with anything, please feel free to hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Message me any questions that you guys have, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with them. And so I also got my mentoring program, my course and everything. It's in the link of all my bios. So if you guys ever want absolute guidance and direction and start doing deals as soon as possible, I'm here for you guys. And so, like I said, links in the bio for that. So like always, I'm uploading YouTube videos every day, massive value and content for you guys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.